Hello, welcome to Arts and Props with GL. I'm Gail, and today I'm going to show you how to add hearts to make a fabric ornament. And I thought this would be in time for Valentine's Day this year, or you could do it for any holiday throughout the year. So I'm starting off with this 3-inch foam ball, and I'm going to start with this orange marker, and I'm going to make a dot at the middle. If you look at these foam balls, they're more smooth and they have a horizontal line here, and they also have like a little circle up here for the north and one down here for the south pole. So I'm just kind of marking the center inside those, and which is really awesome that it's already on the ball. And now what I'm going to do is take my template from our part 1 series, and I'll pause here so you have a chance to see what it is, and you can download the templates from there, and you can make your own templates if you want, or you can just cut out the paper and use it as a pattern. I am using a Scotch tape 1.5 inch roll because it's the right size for this to kind of sit on top, so you can find a cup or something to do this on top if you don't have this. And then here's my template from part 1. I'm going to place that right here, and then I'm going to place my ball in the center, and I want it to be horizontal to the template. So this dot right here, I want to line up this way and this way. And then I'm going to start my lines, and I'm using 1/6 fractions for this project. So I'm going to start with the green lines. The green lines are here, here, and here. I'm going to start from the bottom here and just kind of work my way with dotted lines up to the center. I found this way to work the easiest, and then to kind of continue it from this side, I'm going to take it from up here, go across to that center line there, match this up this way. Dotted lines just makes it easier to line up, and I can go back and make any corrections I need to. Since I'm going to be using mostly some red and white material, I'm using an orange marker and a red marker today. So I just want to make sure I got marked at the bottom there for all those areas in case I'm off a little bit. And I'm going to pick it up and check my sides. I'm just going to continue the line across the equator there on the ball. I'm going to take this, turn it upside down, and see if I can align those. You have this template that you can download below. You also have the templates to use to make this and to make the 1/6 template. That's the one we're using. And I already cut out my heart to make it go a little bit quicker. And I have these crosshairs here so that you can line it up on the vertical line as well as the hemisphere here. And that way you can make sure your lines match up there well. I just have to find the hemisphere line on this side. Okay, and then I'm going to take my red marker, because I know this line I want to be there and I want to stop on it, and I'm going to start to trace around it. I'm ready to use a professional knife, and I talk about that in my do's and don'ts in a video if you want to watch that. And I'm going to cut my hearts out first. Now when I cut this, I want to use the knife perpendicular to the ball. I want it more up like this, otherwise I'm going to burn it more. Also, I'll wear a glove on one hand. I'm going to take my time on it, and then I'll finish these lines after I cut out the hearts. You want to make one continuous cut so that, and you don't want to stop because it will melt the foam too much. You want to be kind of careful with that. And I see I need to come in a little bit more on that line. I go down there. So notice how I'm doing half at a time. This material is so cool and beautiful. I've already started adding the hearts in here, and I'll finish this and I'll demonstrate it, but I just wanted to say that because we're using the professional knife, the holes are big enough that you can actually use a skewer to kind of stick them down inside. You could also use a clay tool that has a flat edge or something to stuff it in. So if a younger person wanted to start learning how to do this, they could actually practice with that first. So I have these hearts right here, and I'll demonstrate the skewer real quick. Or if I look from the edge here or from the side here, I can start to take this and just start to stuff it in. And I'm gonna start to stuff the whole edge in so that way it's easier for me to see where I'm headed. And so with practice, this will actually work. Now I like to use the X-Acto knife, so I'm gonna continue with this. I always wear a glove when I use it. Not that I've ever hit my hand with it. However, I want to be prepared just in case. I like to start with the top of the heart first and start from the center a little bit and work outward. And if necessary, we can make a little cut right there so the material goes in better. So I'll demonstrate how I do this one, and then the rest will be in a faster speed. The most important thing to remember when you're cutting out your material with the template is that you want the material to be at least 1/4 inch more on each side so you can tuck it inside the ball so it won't fall out. So you also need that at the top and bottom as well. And because I'm trying to find the dogs that I like, I'm kind of cutting it off a little bit before our halfway mark because those are going to be on the top part of the ball. And if you're using a pattern that is all the same, you could cut out one big piece and just kind of cut it a little bit above the middle, because the hearts where they come together is a little bit above the middle of the foam ball. Now I'm centering the material so I can see the dog, and I'm starting to tuck it in, and I might need to make an adjustment. Also, if you have too much material, you can trim it as you go along, which is what I do. And it's most important that I get the dog's faces on there. As far as the fire theme goes on the Dalmatians material, I'm going to do my best to kind of get rid of that, because that's not what I'm talking about with this ornament, since it's 101 Dalmatians. So what I'll do is white out the top part of the hats with some white acrylic paint, and I will show you a little screen showing you when I do that part. Since the Dalmatians are the most important part of this project, I will show more of this process compared to the rest. Since my third material is not as important as the Dalmatians, what I've done is I've just drawn out the template, the 1/6 template 3 times, and I cut it a little above the middle so that the top part will fit in the top portion, the bottom part will fit in the bottom portion, keeping in mind that where the hearts come together is a little bit above the center part on the foam ball. With this material, I'm adding it to the top and the bottom, and the next part will be adding the bottom Dalmatians. Now I'm looking for Dalmatians to add to the bottom portion. This time I'm going to make sure it's above the center a little bit so that it matches up with where the hearts connect. I'm using a 1/8 inch red glitter ribbon to cover up the cracks. And because I want the dogs to stand out the most, I'm covering up more of the Cruella de Vil side so that the dogs stand out more. Also, because the material is white and it has a lot of black bold areas in it, I'm going to use some white acrylic paint just to tone it down a little bit to help the Dalmatians stand out well too. I'm using Eileen's tacky glue to help glue the ribbon in place. To add a little bling to the project, I'm taking some straight pins that have a gunmetal globe on the end and sticking them in between the hearts and also at the top and bottom. At the top of the ornament, I'm taking the eye screw, adding hot glue to the end, and I'm just going to pierce the inside with it. Now I'm cutting a 5/8 of an inch red ribbon to about 12 inches long. I'm cutting one end of the ribbon to a V shape, and then I'm going to hot glue the ends together once I thread it through the eye screw. Thanks for watching. If you like these videos, please subscribe. We'd love to make more.